all new at 11, filling the summer with fun and life lessons. A Northeast Ohio man says he has found a solution to dangerous problems on the street: skating. News 5 anchor Frank Wiley shows us the man who works to introduce himself to as many people as he can.
This is Rolling Buckeyes Foundation.
Without what we're doing, the kids would be doing something else.
My name is Kenneth Perdue. I am the founder of the Rolling Buckeyes and Rink in the Box.
How long have you been doing this?
Wow. I'd say since 2013 with the Rolling Buckeyes. We didn't officially become a 501c3 status till 2015. And it kind of like morphed into what you see here as Rink in the Box. So Rink in the Box is kind of like a social enterprise to the foundation. It's a way of creating sustainable income for the foundation, which is strictly for, the foundation is strictly for programming, schools, rec centers, things like that.
So right now, if my eyes aren't deceiving me, we are in a portable,
Yeah.
On location, pop-up skating rink, am I correct?
You are absolutely correct. Rink in the Box is, the goal behind Rink in the Box was, like I said before, is to create sustainable income for the foundation. And we have the ability here to pop up at your event. So we could pop up at a small scale event, or we could pop up at a large scale event. We have a capacity of 150 pairs of skates, roller skates. The goal is to bring the community together. The goal is to turn empty spaces into social places. That's what we're about. But yeah, what you have here is, as you can see, a minimum of our skates. We have our skates located in other areas where when we have events, we pile them in, you know, so we could do a small scale event from 15 to 25 people. Then we'll go from maybe 30 to 45 people, and then we'll scale up. And our large scale is up to maybe close to 100 skaters at one time, you know.
So as of now, we are on a quarantine kind of lockdown, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is affecting you.
Yeah, it sticks.
Since you're very community-based.
Right.
What has been your lane since you got this announcement that you can't have any, big crowds of people?
Well, it's totally, it has affected us because it's totally against what we believe in. You know, we're social individuals. We're about the community. So our job is to engage the community and bring it together. You know, and this, we understand what's going on, and it's our job to be safe. But again, it's totally against what we're about. So we're on a standstill. We can't make moves. We can't do events. You know, we can't bring that excitement, that happiness that roller skating brings to the community, because we just can't go out to the parks and, hey, look, we're here, kind of like the carnival. We just pop up and we're here. We can't do that. So we've been affected not only from a social aspect, but even monetary, because we do these events and it creates income for us to sustain. You know, so I think that we've continued to try to be safe, and we've, for the past, I say, month and a half, we've received grant funding to do events, but it's possible that we may need to give that money, those funds back, or hopefully we may be able to extend our fiscal year into 2021. We'll be doing programming starting, I would say, the end of May. So our programming, pretty much, because we're outside, and you know how Cleveland weather is sketchy. So if we get a good day, that's when we, trying to do our camps and things like that. We've done our camps inside, but it's kind of like defeating, again, what we're about. We want to be out in the community, So with the funding has allowed us to keep our programming, to keep having the ability to give the kids roller skates at the end of each camp. We can't do that. So until they give us the okay to get back to normal, to us, like, what's the okay? Because we're up and close, we're close to the people. At what point are we going to be able to touch a skater or touch, somebody that falls? That's kind of like deflating to us, because now it puts us in a position where our hands are tied. Do we give the money back, or will the grantee allow us to extend our camps? And a lot of times they will, or we just have to get the funding back. I think that has enabled us to kind of like do or continue on with programming, because we've wanted to extend our services, throughout the city, and we can't. So now what we're doing is planning for 21, and hopefully things be somewhat of a norm in 21. But again, at what point are you going to say, oh, I'm comfortable with being around 50 people, or I'm comfortable with traveling, I'm comfortable with, hey, embracing somebody or giving somebody a hug that you ain't seen? At what point? How long am I going to have to wear this? Is this the new norm? So it's kind of like, it's hard. It's really hard, not knowing. We get these soft openings, and things are somewhat, but to me that's not, because if you're still telling us that certain places you can only have these amount of people, and you still have to be 6 feet away, and not to get all into the details, I'm no doctor, but again, at what point do we say things are okay? We disconnected already through the social platform. This is just making it even worse. I mean, that's just my personal feelings. We already disconnected, and now we've just kind of like made it so much worse, because people now are afraid to speak. People are afraid to communicate, all these Zoom, I'm an extrovert. I like to communicate. I like to talk. I like to shake hands. When I seen you, I wanted to embrace you. I ain't seen you, I wanted to embrace you, but it's just like, hey man, what's up? That's crazy to me. It's crazy.
So I believe when I first met you, it was at a slow roll.
Sir.
4 years ago.
Yes, sir.
And ever since I've known you, that's how you've been. You've just been out. You've been a great supporter of Cleveland.
Of course.
The roller skate. You have not changed since I met you.
Of course.
So with the virus going on and the quarantine, what have you been doing?
I'd say, of course, the honeydew list. No, I had one of them. So I've been at home, and I think that I've exhausted my welcome. Me and my sons have exhausted our welcome at home, because my wife works from home. So it's just like, my wife's day will be pretty much over by the time we get up. So then we try to find stuff to, like, oh my goodness, occupy our time. I tried to create or simulate a roller rink in the yard for the boys, and had them putting together flooring, outside, creating tents. I had my little Wilson bar going on where I was like, just acting like, oh my God, I was somewhere as a castaway or something like that. But I think, on a more serious note, I think that at times, oh my goodness, I get cabin fever. And it's just like, I know I can't sit idle. I know that it's something out here that I'm supposed to be doing that's bigger than me. And I feel this is a part of it. What I'm doing here, I'm community driven. I'm about the community. I'm about where I grew up from. I'm about giving back. That's me.
At this point, you being a small business owner, stable in the community, and an entrepreneur, what advice can you give other entities at this point in this quarantine?
Wow, that's hard, because I can't speak for a lot of the businesses that are, have been shut down. Across the state of Ohio, just yesterday, they implemented that 600 businesses, have been shut down across the state. So how do you come back from that? The economy is really about to, or has, and I don't see it getting better, before it gets worse. We, as small business owners, we live to provide for the community. We live off of the community coming in supporting us. We don't have the funding that these big box companies have. We just don't. So we're going to struggle. We're going to close down, as you see a lot of businesses that I've been to and supported closing in the city, you know, and that is sad. I mean, I really can't say like, what, keep your head up, you know, I don't want to hear that, you know, because this is my livelihood. You know, this is how I come to work and pay to provide for my family, you know, so how do I sit back and say, man, you know, how can I tell the next business owner that took out loans, you know what I'm saying, that still probably got to pay those loans back, and we get this little, you know, check, that what is that little check? I mean, not to get political, but what is that gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Thank you, but you know, keep them coming, you know, but it's like, what are we as small business owners supposed to do? You know, my kids got to get up and eat. You know, what if I'm the only provider and I have to shut my doors, you know, and it's only been a month and a half, 2 months. So imagine this going on for 6 months. You know, the crime rate is going to elevate. They said lower down, but the crime rate is going to, you know, people, we're going to start to go into survival in a minute, you know. So for me, to the next business owner, I feel you. You know, and all I can say is I'm gonna continue to pray, you know, that things get better. You know, I really don't have an answer or a response to that because I know how we struggle. It's shut down and there's nothing that we could do, you know, it's nothing that we could do. You know, what are these business owners, these small businesses that took their last to make it happen, to make a dream happen, and just like that, it's over, you know. So I have nothing. I know what I'm going through, so I can imagine. And this is, I don't have a lot of overhead in this, and I know how I'm struggling. If I had a storefront or a physical roller rink, I can't imagine, because them bills still coming. I guess I did want to, I mean, if it's, how are you maintaining?
You gonna interview me now?
I mean, if you want to, how are you maintaining, bruh? You know?
I'm here like everybody
yeah,
else.
you know?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Small businesses, big corporations, it's hitting hard, and it's going to continue to hit hard.
Yeah.
You just gotta maintain.
Yeah. We keep it praying, and you know, we've been through a lot as a people. So I feel like we'll get through this. My name is Kenneth Perdue. I'm the founder of the Rolling Buckeyes Foundation and Rink in the Box, and this is my story.